them or is it people who
Welcome back to Newsmaker Live. The debate is not stopping as I expected. We have with us Papa Vader, the man himself, four-time Calypso champ, Ignatius Thiessen, and of course Rowan Sion, whose name we spelled incorrectly to begin, but we have corrected that. He is the writer for seven-time Calypso champ, the Mighty Pep, and of course the Mighty Pep is now
for the time being,
yeah, he is otherwise occupied. So we might not be seeing him this year, but who knows? You know, it's Calypso, and every time, you know, they get the itch, something happens. Now you're making a strong point before we went to break. We were talking about
the use of the resource people.
Yeah, those people who have been associated with the art form, who actually laid the foundation, who did it when you really had to work, when you just didn't need a computer and a mic and everything else was in there for you. Why are these people not being used, and how can they be used?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, look, for example, we're having problems right now with the quality of the material coming out of our recording artists. Yeah? Obviously, there's a disconnect between the art of storytelling and choosing topics that you can expound on and make sense. You know what I'm saying? These things, some people have to learn that. You understand? So it would be nice if the people in authority, the Ministry of Culture, for example, of Education, could put programs together where these resource people could be utilized to go into the school system. For example, there's an art form called extempo. I mean, which is a perfect way to get the kids interested in Calypso in general. Yeah, it can develop so many different skills. You understand?
You have to be thinking on your feet when you
know. And I feel that, you know, extempo could be introduced into the schools on a bigger level. I would like to see a national schools extempo competition where they get to choose topics, international, you know, thing, and work on that. That would be a start, and that would build the interest for them to go further. Even the junior calypso competitions, I over the years I have not seen much development, really generally.
Now you're making that point, and then junior calypso has not been there for 4 years. I was listening to Jason Bachelor Joseph this morning on a radio program, and he was lamenting the fact that we have the adult programs. The adult, you know, you have the Calypso, the national competition, you have the carnival competition, is national. But when it comes to junior events, there is not much planning that goes into it, and there is not any. So if you have young people who you want to take over, you know, when the older ones retire eventually, how do you expect them to take over when they have not been exposed to it, and they don't have that solid foundation? You know, so.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I'm in the young people business.
Yes.
So that's clearly. I mean, there's a time when I did a whole lot of work with the college boys, and the thing about it, it doesn't always your station in life at a particular time doesn't always lend itself for that kind of thing, because you know. But it's certainly a good idea that you work there with the school system and get it out. But one of the weaknesses of the inter-school competitions over the years, and I'm sure you know that, is that the problem is there has never been any serious amount of composing taking place in the school. What used to happen is that the writers would produce songs for the boys and the girls in the schools to sing. You know, the Wallies and so on, and the Bachelors, and even I did it a few times. And then they sing the songs and they win or they lose, and then they go on the next year and they expect their handouts to come out every year, a song from somebody. So they call and ask you for a song. You never get a chance to actually develop the writing skills. And you have many singers, even though many singers and few writers, the one or two writers around are overextended and sometimes don't feel like writing, and then you suddenly realize, hey, that man write this here, man. You notice it right away.
Right.
Somebody didn't write. And so on. We still have the dearth of writing talent here, and a real proliferation of singers. And as Invader saying quite correctly, it's easy to, you write in a bedroom and you do your thing and you email it to a radio station. You don't have to leave. No, you don't have to leave your room to have your music on the air. Write in your room, everything done, email it, and the radio station gets it and they play it. And that's it. You don't have to make a CD, and nothing like CD you need anymore.
Yeah.
Another confession I could make too is that, you know, the St. Lucia Calypso Association, in my mind, has never really functioned in a way that an association for Calypso should. They function as an annual entity that come together around Carnival time.
Raise funds to make money.
They want to raise funds in May for Carnival in June. You know what I'm saying? You never have a long-term plan,
program,
or program, or group of people who want who show you that they're making efforts to develop the art form. You understand? If you want to get the kids interested, there must be incentives. The kids must see that, you know, there's something in Calypso apart from being on a stage and singing, you know, that they could get from it, you know. And I feel that we have failed in the actual development of the art form.
That's a very interesting point, especially with the creative industries, and I go to that ministry again, where the government is offering to push a large amount of taxpayers' money into an industry that has not developed itself. So if the Calypso Association, as you lamented, I cannot speak on that issue because I'm not part of it, but I will take your word for it because you have been long associated with the association. Yes, exactly. If the association has not developed that entrepreneurial mind to say that this is a business, it is not just for Carnival that we come in, you know, organize tents or whatever, organize a national competition, and that's it. After the finals, nothing happens until the next year.
Which is exactly what it is.
What must happen right now for all that money that is being pumped into the creative sector to be money well spent?
Clearly, Calypso has to be more than just Carnival. One or 2 points came from Convey already, but there's a whole year after Carnival that you can do things. And you keep hearing talk about this, you know, there's all this famous King of Kings competition that never comes up. You think it's once I talk about, and that is
so many competitions that
overdue.
You have the buy local competition
that is disappearing.
Look, I watched a big expo there, and it broke my heart.
Exactly.
I remember the last buy local Monarch competition was in 1995.
Can you imagine?
I remember you singing
for
that. And the last King of Kings.
Was Pep
won that, and you came in second.
The association has not been able to pull that off.
I mean, what does that say?
But there's so much rancor. I mean, as I began, you know, I go back to it. There's so much bacchanal when it comes to Carnival. You know, in terms of, you know, there's Halikasi, this one not pulling with that one. I mean, when can everyone come together? And we're getting a little off the point, but we'll go back to it. But when can everybody come together and realize that we're all in this boat together and we're sitting in the same direction, wanting to market our product, wanting to sell, wanting to make a business out of it, wanting to quit our other jobs if you're still in another job, and focus on music as the professionals out there do and make money out of it.
So the question is,
when can we all come together, and how can we all come together?
When you say we all,
well, I'm not a musician. I mean, you're talking about the associations. You're talking about the writers, the singers, the musicians, the players, whoever. But there always seems to be that divide, that the conflict. You know, one group fighting against the next group, and
but that happens with everything. That happens with sports. That's why it's about competition.
But not so blatant where the whole industry stays behind.
No, Carnival is just a noisier period. You know, everything is louder. You know, everything is more verbal. You know, the people get the opportunity to be smutty as they please. So you expect
as much as I want
around that.
Yeah. But he's talking about the after Carnival time now.
Yes. So make a business out of it.
Yes. That because you're making the point. There's so many other things that can be done that are not being done, and you wonder why. Because you want to tell me that if you don't have this same King of Kings show, for instance, you're not going to get people in August or November, of course you will. People will be dying for some kind of thing. They will bring back some of the kings of the past. And why is the show not organized? I don't understand. Even the same mentality that goes into organizing Calypso finals can operate there. We saw the show, this Calypso 25 thing, a few years ago. That was such a brilliant production. And I think that people, the places was
bursting at its seams.
Bursting at its seams. And that was one event that I don't know why they didn't recognize that is potential there for revenue and for everything.
But you see, again, it's all about the level of representation that you have. Because Calypso 25 was not organized by the St. Lucia Calypso Association, first of all. And, you know, the Calypso Association has tried. I think they tried Calypso 30. You know, or something like that.
But that was required.
Yeah, but it was not the same thing because I suppose the organizers did not possess the qualities
of
that
the
Calypso 25 had, and that's one of the problems. We've been bashing the music.
So are you suggesting therefore that we have the wrong people in the right positions?
I believe we have the wrong people in position. Yeah,
people that they don't really like the poster.
They don't. Some of them don't know how to handle the post.
Well, on that note, let's take a break because we have to discuss that. We also have to go back to our original point on the music that is pervading the airwaves for Carnival, and a discussion on whether that music is acceptable or not. Stay tuned. Newsmaker Live will continue after this break.